This is the Real Footy Expert Tips Podcast. Thanks for joining us to tip round 20. My name's Andrew Wu, and joining me today, as usual, Peter Ryan, back in the clubhouse.
I'm back on the leaders. I'm with you. I've been waiting for this since Sunday night when the Bulldogs beat Gold Coast. I've been so excited to sit back here. 8 tips yesterday. I thought I'd get 9 or 8 tips last week. Essendon let me down. Can you believe that?
That's
by
hard
winning.
to predict.
So just read out the leaderboard. I want to hear it.
Well, you're back in the lead with me.
I
and
know.
Mark McGowan. It's a three-way...
What happened to you, mate?
Three-way lead. Oh, well, I tipped Gold Coast, essentially.
And Sydney.
Yeah, and the Swans. But, I mean,
and what did I tip? I tipped Adelaide.
That was a good tip by you.
And
You've
the
done
Bulldogs.
well.
No, I appreciate
But
that.
you don't want to get ahead of yourself.
I am well and truly. I want to make the moment last. It
it's
does sound so
fleeting, is it?
pathetic and arrogant.
When was the last time
But
you were
I
in the
was
lead?
so excited. I had people in the other room who could hear me cheering Adelaide goals. They said, "Are you seriously barracking for Adelaide?" And I was. So my emotions got away from me because I knew that game was vital.
That was actually a very good tip.
I was out on a limb.
Kicking myself because you know that I've had question marks over the Swans.
Yeah.
And I have liked Adelaide's form, so I don't know why I didn't tip the Crows. But anyway.
No, it was
Live
lucky.
and learn. When was the last time you were in the lead?
Only
like
2
it's
weeks
been a
ago.
while.
No,
It's
it's
only
only
2
two.
weeks.
No, it's only 2 weeks. But I didn't like not being there. I like being in your company.
Well, we've got Mark now as well.
Who's what's the gap between us three and?
Well, it's a gap of 3 to Jake, who challenged very fleetingly about a month ago.
Yeah.
Callum, Jasper, Jimmy Bartell, and then another one adrift to Michael Gleeson.
Yeah, he's in Barcelona.
Is he Barcelona?
And preparing
Glasgow?
for the Glasgow. Well, there's a training camp. that he's
Okay.
joined
He'll be joining
from the
in.
sidelines.
He'll be joining in a few of the 400-metre sprints,
I'd imagine so.
doing his hamstring.
Yep. Let's
Just like-
roll. What's going on this week?
He's got more chance of chasing them than he has of chasing us.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Which is no chance.
First game of the round, Adelaide. Your Adelaide Crows against Collingwood at Adelaide Oval. Thursday night footy. You're not going to tip against the Crows this week, are you?
I don't think anyone should.
They look good, don't they?
They look like they've got a pressure game going, and it'll be a tight game because Collingwood bring the same sort of heat to their opposition, and they get Jeremy Howe back, and the Crows lose Darcy Fogarty but get Tex back.
So it's not a big loss, is it? Because I had a look at their... I mean, Fogarty played well last week, but Tex Walker coming in. They've got Riley Thilthorpe. The Crows, I think, play their best footy when they don't have the 3 of them together. In that, I think their last 6 or 7 weeks, they beat Melbourne with the 3 of them, but they also lost to Port Adelaide with the 3 of them.
Yeah, I think the Port Adelaide, the problem was their midfield, but they had Dawson. Berry was very good, and they've got Rankin playing really good football.
He's playing good footy again,
It's
isn't
the first time he's played Collingwood since that infamous game where he was suspended for a homophobic remark. I think they're going to have the game to beat Collingwood, not so much the Stars, because Collingwood's got Nick Dacos, obviously, who can change the game in a second, but they've got the defensive pressure and the back line who do a really good job of restricting scores, and they'll be able to put on enough of a score to account for Collingwood. I don't think they'll thrash them.
No, I don't think this will be close. I think the Crows will win quite comfortably.
Fair enough.
I didn't think the Pies were... I mean, there's a lot of talk about how far they can go this year. Look at their form in the last 5 weeks. I know they've won. Winning form's good form, but they haven't really beaten quality.
No.
They're still very reliant on Nick Dacos. And the 5-day break is a worry with that older team. Scott Pendlebury saw a few cracks this time.
I agree with that.
He's starting to show a few more signs. I think Ryan Sidebottom, still Sidebottom, he was terrible last week. He made mistake after mistake. He just looked slow, looked a step behind, looked like a player who is, I think, Father Time's caught up with him. So it'd be fascinating. He'll probably come out and have 30 possessions and kick 3 goals.
Well, he's capable of that, but I don't think he is. I mean, I think all your assessments are right, which is why Adelaide's the obvious selection.
Yeah, I think the Crows will win, and I think they'll win quite comfortably, tipping them about 5 goals.
Well, for once I'm agreeing with you. Crows, I don't know about easily, but they'll win.
Okay, next game, Friday night footy. This is probably the game of the round. Melbourne against Geelong at the MCG.
Very consequential for their top four.
Everyone. It is consequential for you and I. It's consequential for the D's, consequential for the Cats, and for every other club that's vying for a top 6 spot and maybe top 4 spot.
It is. And I think Melbourne will beat Geelong based on A, their form at the MCG, which they're unbeaten, B, their running game, which will test not so much the running power of Geelong, because they've got good running power, but the speed and the absence of Max Holmes in addition to Jeremy Cameron is fatal for the Cats.
Fatal?
Well, for their premiership chances.
They'll die, will they?
Well, their season died.
They're still in the season, Geelong.
What, even with Max Holmes and Cameron out? I don't think so.
They're still in it. They're very well coached. They'll get them back in the finals. Oh, well, Jeremy Cameron's only going to be out for another 3 or 4 weeks, will he?
Yeah. No, look, this game will tell, to be honest. We won't have last rights until we see what the result is of this game, but I think Melbourne need to stand up, have a win against a really quality opposition on their home deck with players like Cozzy Pickett, Max Gawn, Tom Sparrow in form, and Jefferson and Van Rooyen doing the job.
Jefferson. Van Rooyen.
What, are you laughing at Jefferson?
No, I'm not. I am surprised that you've highlighted him as a factor.
Well, I couldn't think of the other bloke.
But Jacob Van Rooyen, he is close to the best kick in the game for goal.
He is.
He's got a beautiful kicking action, and I think if you were to teach someone how to kick for goal, you'd look at Jacob Van Rooyen because he's got a lovely action. I'm ummed and ahed for this game, and I am tipping Geelong.
Whoa!
Make it interesting.
Brave.
I don't share the lead in the clubhouse. I just want to be there by myself. If I can't be in the lead, if I have to share the lead,
I'm at the forum watching Spider-Bait on Friday night, so I'll be checking the scores.
Oh, you'll be getting messages from me all Friday night.
But why do you think the Cats can win?
Well, they were very good against the Saints, and I know they've lost a few recently, but quite a few of those games were by a small margin. They were overrun by the Giants when they had injuries, so there was an excuse there. And then you look at, I know they lose Max Holmes, but then you look at some of the players they're going to get back this week. Mark Blitzarves, Jack Martin and Jake Kolajasny.
Kolajasny, I'm not sure whether he'll naturally go in.
Martin
Jack Henry went back, was much better.
Yeah, Martin and Blitzarves are two very good players.
Blitzarves
is Sean Manor going to play?
No, I don't think he will.
Oh, well, geez, I might have to change my team.
It's uncertain, but I don't think he will.
I think it a lot hinges on whether he plays. I think if he plays, you want to tip the Cats. If he doesn't, tip the D's. So what am I doing?
That is pathetic. You've hedged your bets.
I'm all in. I'm going to tip the Cats.
You've got to be brave. You just go...
I'll tip the Cats.
Good on you.
I think they're... The percentage, 116, they're still a good team.
No, they are a good team. And Melbourne, it's a big test for them if they can do the job on a Friday night.
Big stage.
Jake Lever, they've got a bit of experience. Don't worry about that.
They're very experienced team.
Yeah.
The question on them is this time there's expectation. So when they beat Hawthorn, there were no expectations. But now the expectation's building over the D's. And
yeah, that's fair.
And Geelong are going to find out any cracks in your armour. So... I'm going for the Cats.
Well, nice knowing you in the leaderboard.
And I really hope Sean Manor gets up. So I hope he's getting good care down there.
Good luck.
And I look forward to seeing the Cats ruin your night at Spider-Bait.
Yeah.
The other game on Friday night, Freo against West Coast, Derby number 63.
Wow.
That's probably the most interesting part about the game, isn't it?
Freo win easily.
Yeah, Freo
West Coast have been much better this year.
They've been better, but... The question mark on Harley Reid. Liam Baker's out. They need his experience.
Yeah.
And the other tidbit I have is that the closest Freo have got to West Coast in terms of head-to-head was in 2014 or 15 when they got to 20-21. It's now 30 for Freo, 33 for West Coast.
That is the greatest stat that you've
so they're
ever
getting close.
Discovered.
They need to overtake West Coast.
I thought you had a busy life.
Okay, yep. Freo for me.
Yeah, Freo for me.
Saturday afternoon footy, Carlton against Gold Coast, Marvel Stadium. The Blues needing to win. Well, both teams really need to win to keep their season alive. I think for Gold Coast are pretty much done, but Carlton are still in it. They'll probably be in the 10 if they win this on Saturday afternoon.
Who are you tipping?
I'm tipping Carlton.
So am I. I've banned Gold Coast.
Yeah, you can't tip Gold Coast anywhere.
No, I just don't like the way they're playing. Yeah. Ben King's leaving, going to Hawthorn. That can't help their morale.
No, uncertainty over Bailey Humphrey.
Their good players aren't performing at the level they should. Rao, Anderson.
They're not performing together.
No, they aren't.
They're all little islands up there, Gold Coast at the moment.
Miller got 35 or something and just had no impact.
It wasn't one of the better 35 or 39 position games.
Carlton lack some things, but they actually are playing a connected brand of footy.
They were honest last week, just lacked a bit of class. Collingwood took their opportunities. But get this, how can a team that has Christian Petrarca, Matt Rowell, Noah Anderson, Ben King, Mac Andrew, Dan Rioli, John Noble, Tuke Miller and Sam Collins have lost 7 in a row?
Because they wear red jumpers and they're the Gold Coast Suns. That's why.
God, they were disappointing. I was watching that. That ruined my Sunday afternoon watching Gold Coast play.
They're pathetic.
I didn't realise they were that bad. I thought maybe at home that they'd be a bit better, but they just couldn't move the ball.
You can't call a football club the Suns and expect them to win. It doesn't work.
Thanks, marketing man.
Well, it's ridiculous.
So if they were called the Gold Coast
Sharks or something,
Seagulls or something, they'd be going
much better. No doubt. And I've had this discussion with a former football manager there and said if they're wearing those
it's a choice of nickname.
Jumpers,
the choice of nickname that's done.
He said, I think we've got bigger priorities, was his response.
Fair enough.
But I'm ahead at the moment.
I think this game could blow out if Carlton get on top early.
The only area is that ruck. Carlton's ruck division is a bit thin. Is Pitney still out?
Yeah, he's still out. I thought Liam Reddy was okay last week. And the Suns, who the Suns got in there? They've got Madden, isn't it?
No, Moyle.
Madden's
with the Giants.
Moyle, he's not the finished article.
That's true. Anyway, Carlton.
Yeah, Carlton for me.
We're online all the time. Just search Age Real Footy on Facebook or Twitter.
Saturday, Twilight Footy, MCG, Hawthorn against Essendon. Nobody's going to think Essendon can make it back-to-back.
No, I didn't think they could make it one. No one did, but they did. And good on them. It was great watching the supporters going crazy at Marvel Stadium in those last few minutes.
And they were rewarded for their faith and loyalty.
Yes.
Sunday, 4:40 to watch their team start as rank outsiders, and they got the win. They're the type of wins you remember.
It was good. And they hadn't won in Melbourne for, a long time.
Since last year. Was it the Dreamtime game last year?
I think so. Yeah, I'm tipping Hawthorn to win easily. They were clinical against Richmond, and they've got a lot of good players, particularly against weak opposition. Yeah,
they'll win. They'll win by plenty. And unless you want to make them your margin tip, I'll make them my margin tip for the round.
No, you're welcome.
Okay. Let it be on the record that I offered Pete the chance to take it. I'll take Hawthorn.
Yep.
And the next game on Saturday night, it's the second game at Marvel Stadium for the day, Western Bulldogs against Richmond.
Is that right? That's weird. They
Double
can't
header.
play women's footy there, but they play...
They play 2 games in one day.
Isn't that ridiculous? They get government funding around... Anyway.
Come on, it's a tipping podcast, not a politics show. Pete, come on.
It annoys me. Bulldogs weren't that impressive against the Suns, but they're well drilled and they got stars like... Bontempelli's a star and Richards is a star and Aaron Norton's a star. And I reckon that's a confidence boosting win for them. Come back and get the job done. I reckon Richmond will be a lot harder to play against.
Well, they have to be, don't they?
Their pressure was just non-existent.
9 players didn't stick a tackle last week.
Yeah, it was obvious.
It's not like they didn't have a chance. They had about 100 possessions fewer than Hawthorn.
But they're not a great Marvel team. And the Bulldogs...
They're not a great team anywhere, Richmond, at the moment.
No, they're terrible. So I'm tipping Bulldogs and they're my margin team too.
Yeah, I actually think this will be close-ish. The Dogs have struggled to score recently.
Yep. Recently. But then
last month.
But then they haven't played Richmond.
Yeah, Richmond just struggled. Yeah, they struggled to do everything, but particularly scoring.
The only way they can win is if Lynch, who's, a pale imitation of what he was, which is not to be disrespectful because he's one of my favourite of that era. But if they can get it down to him, they've got the capacity to outmark the Bulldogs' defenders and kick a reasonable score.
Yeah, but they struggle to kick anything higher. They've only got kicked 80 twice this season.
Yeah.
Their usual score's around I think they're averaging 65.
Yeah, they're
Not going to win
unimpressive.
many
They're
games
not good to
doing that.
watch. Bulldogs for me.
Yeah, so seeing that you've got them as your margin, so we'll update our listeners as to where we are placed. And bearing in mind that a week ago you were calling me Australia at Headingley in 2019, thinking you were Ben Stokes.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
I don't want to be Ben Stokes.
You
but
tipped Fremantle. They won by 28. I had the Hawks, won by 70, so I'd pop another 42 on you.
Yeah.
So my lead's out to 297. You need Dravid and Laxman.
I do.
And favourable umpiring as well.
Yeah. And you to, take a few risks.
I need to just stop tipping.
You need to be...
Actually, if I stop tipping, do you reckon you could make up 297 in 5 games?
We'll see. I'll keep a separate set of books.
Okay. Before we get on to Sunday, we've jumped the gun here, Pete.
Wow.
We've missed the Sydney Derby.
Oh.
The Giants
not we.
Sydney.
Don't go we. You missed it.
I was just saying
you're Victorian-centric. No wonder they complain. No wonder they have opening round.
I was just saying whether you were going to pick it up. But I shouldn't let you be the one
true.
to be the final gatekeeper.
No, I would never do that. GWS Sydney, what a classic. That's Giants. Oh, you can't tip the Giants either.
No, not with any confidence. But if you were trying to make up a tip and you're a bit behind, you're desperate.
It's at NG Stadium, which gives them a bigger opportunity in the SCG,
Just
and their form against good teams.
Depends on which Giants team turns up, the one that beats Fremantle or the one that gets rolled by Essendon and loses to the Eagles.
We've beaten Fremantle, Geelong, thrashed Brisbane.
Beat Hawthorn in the first round as well.
It's incredible, isn't it? They are Jekyll and Hyde. I don't have any faith in Sydney, but enough faith to think that they won't lose 3 in a row and that the derby will get them inspired enough, particularly with the Giants missing Toby Green.
Yeah, he's a big loss, isn't he? On top of all the other injuries they have.
Yeah.
Their midfield was disappointing last week, the Giants. Well, the whole team was disappointing.
Yeah, and Sydney's midfield was pretty disappointing too, and I reckon they'll have a point to prove.
Yeah, I think the Swans will win this. Is anyone game enough to tip the Giants?
Well, you didn't even think the game was being played. You've just ignored it completely. So, if you remember it's on, tip the Giants.
That's why my tipping's gone poorly the last little while.
Yeah, you're off your game, mate. Fire up.
Did you tip one upset and look at you?
Yeah, I know.
I think you've gone back to back to back.
I know.
Okay, now we will get to Sunday afternoon footy. Brisbane against Port Adelaide at the Gabba. Port were honourable in defeat last week. Brisbane keep winning.
Port are honourable in defeat most of the season, so that's why we'll tip Brisbane.
And they'll be honourable again, but the Lions will win.
Yeah, and there's no Joe Richards. Horn Francis is back, but the Lions will win.
Georgiades should be back as well.
He should be back,
after the week off with concussion, but
That's
I think
true.
the Lions will win. Final game of the round. This is actually quite an important game.
Are we sure this is the final game around? Have you checked?
I'll have to look to the producers. They're nodding. North Melbourne against St Kilda, Marvel Stadium. Both teams 8 and 10. The Saints 8 and 10 and in 10th. So I suppose that's something.
Yeah, they hung on to 10th, even though they looked certain to lose their spot after losing Thursday night, and just no one could go past them.
I know that speaks quite loudly about the 10th spot, doesn't it? If you can get in with 8 and 10, it'd be like 11 and 12 getting into the finals.
That's what'll happen, or might happen. I've tipped the Saints again without a lot of confidence, but I just think they're more consistent than North Melbourne, and their confidence levels are probably a bit higher than North Melbourne.
I think you know what to expect more with St Kilda, that they'll beat the teams around them. They'll lose to the teams above them, but they generally beat the teams around them. And I think that will be enough.
The main interest will be Max King.
Aren't they?
Max
King.
King.
Should they play him in the seconds?
No. I'll watch
Just
him.
rush him straight back.
Put him straight in.
When he's had all these injury histories.
It's just,
Oh, geez. Yeah, but that's an extra subplot to this game.
Yeah.
Tom de Koning is also likely to return. North, they jumped out of the blocks last week against the D's, and you thought, maybe this will be the day they claim a big scalp, and they kick 2 goals for the next 2.5 quarters, and
I watched a lot
got
of
a few
that.
junk time goals.
Yeah. No, Nick Larkey's been disappointing in front of goal, obviously. And although they've got excellent players in Sheasel and Fino Sullivan, when they're experienced players like Parker, who's been great, Daniel, Darling have ordinary days, it drops off very quickly.
Yeah, their depth is still not quite there. I think the Saints, I think I'd rather be St Kilda than North Melbourne. Long term.
Yeah, I would too.
I think their kids are going a little bit better. They have a bit more depth.
Yeah.
And not as reliant on their older players. I'm tipping the Saints.
I'm tipping the Saints too.
So let's recap the round. I think we've both gone Adelaide. You've gone the Demons. I've gone Geelong.
Big game. We've
both gone the Dockers, Carlton, Hawthorn, Swans, Bulldogs, Brisbane and St Kilda. So it's just the one difference.
Yeah, well, it's that sort of year.
So one of us won't be in the lead next week.
Yeah, see you later, mate.
It's been nice sharing the clubhouse
with
you, Pete.
Watch my taillights fade into the distance.
I think you'll be the one falling out.
Yeah, no, I hope so.
I've grown in confidence in the last 10 minutes with my Geelong tip.
You've had to respond to my stupidity. That's all it is.
Okay, that's all we got time for today. You can see the rest of the experts' tips at theage.com.au/AFL. Make sure to subscribe, rate and review wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to get in touch with us, send an email to realfootypod@theage.com.au. This podcast is out every Thursday to help you with your tipping. The next Real Footy podcast will be out on Monday, and we've got a special guest, former Carlton star Sam Doherty will be joining us to analyse or review round 20. Until then, may your team win.